Welcome to Resistance GB here with Nico and soon to be Chris Sky as well from the Canadian Resistance. And boy, have you guys been having a fun weekend.
Yeah, a full week of non-stop rallying, protesting, freedom. Everyone has finally stood up over here and it has been ongoing. We started off the first day with 2.5 million and it's gone all the way through to the second weekend, and those numbers stood strong and remained. Absolutely fantastic. And Chris Sky was there this weekend. He's still there now, and he has blown everyone away, and this country has never felt more proud ever. Absolutely fantastic.
And we've just released your footage, and I've got to say it was quite amazing footage. People are absolutely loving it. Really high quality, and just the mass of people there. And you think 2.5 million? Was that the police estimate that it was?
So there were talks of 3 million. So at the time that we were there for the speeches, I flew my drone and I saw pretty much the same numbers as last week, but the city was way more full. So people were more spread out, the 3 mil. So there definitely was another 2 mil represented a week later. So from the first 2.5 mil. So incredible stuff, never before seen here in Canada.
Well, that just seems amazing, doesn't it? That's incredible. And we were going to play a little bit of the speech for people who haven't already seen the video. Shall we bring it up?
Yeah, you can bring it up.
Beautiful.
Before we even begin, I have to start by, number one, thanking our truckers. Not enough can be said for these frontline warriors that took it upon themselves to be the first group in Canada.
It's just amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, so a little bit of that was so I was up there with Chris, and it was actually some of the best footage I got from the weekend, because they were tampering with all our lives, because I tried to go live with you guys yesterday before we got to there, so I knew not to mess around and do the lives and get it saved to the camera roll. So I was up there on the stage, and it was people all throughout the front of us, all down the road leading up to the hill, all behind us where the Parliament building is, and there's the big long Wellington Street going across. It was lined with people all through, and of course we got the truckers and their trucks there right in front of the Parliament, and one of them's got the F Trudeau thing, so right there on the front doorstep. It couldn't, it couldn't be more better place than that. Just very.
And there are people spread all throughout the city. Like, is it one thing we didn't ask the other day? Is it all the truckers congregated just at the center, or have they literally blocked sort of every crossroads all the way throughout?
So the truckers actually made it right onto the streets of Parliament, and it is absolutely shut down. And they've made it as far. Then that they did shut down. There's police roadblocks, and there's truckers, blocks of them, pockets of them all over the city. Absolutely amazing. And it's nonstop all night, all day. There's horns, there's barbecues, there's food, there's celebration, there's parties, there's children. I couldn't believe what I've seen, especially last night alone. Absolutely incredible.
Well, seeing it sort of brought it to life for me, because I was getting cold even watching it. I mean, we've got some of your footage. We were thinking of putting this in with the video of Chris sort of having that sort of zoomed out. But did you take that aerial footage beforehand?
So yeah, I actually took it beforehand, and I had to take my gloves off to fly the drone. And let me tell you, I froze, and so did the drone. So by the time it got some messages on the screen saying freezing weather, it's going to affect the flight, land now. So I got what I could, landed it. I was frozen. So the weather there in Ottawa is next level. Feels like there's like liquid nitrogen being sprayed in the air because technology was malfunctioning. And yeah, insane weather. But it's not stopping anyone. We are all out there, like in mass numbers, all hours. No one's taking any breaks, and it's it's again never before seen.
Well, the thing is, we wanted to add your drone footage in with the footage of Chris, but then we sort of thought it's grown even more. Like you've got a huge crowd, and you can see some of it here if I pull it up.
Yeah, so please use it any way you want, because I've usually done a lot of drone videos, but I just put like music and stuff and quick edits. But this is next level, and yeah, so here we go. So as you can see there, this is called Wellington Street, and this is the street that the Parliament buildings are on. And look at that pocket is just jammed with people, jammed behind and all down the hill, leading up the hill. And there's a street there to the east. And that's lined with people coming up the hill that way. And as we come further south now, there's just people. And here you see the trucks. The drone is going over the trucks. And this is a week after. So it's amazing to have that same representation and passion, and just well done, Canada. Well done, absolutely, for sure.
And how did it make you feel just seeing all of those crowds?
I felt a feeling like a high I've never felt before. So especially once you're on the stage with Chris, and Chris just delivered that powerful message that, and I was just like, it's like, I don't want to say trembling. I don't know what the word is, but I was just like vibrating with this high energy of freedom and excitement that not only was this message coming, but there was like possibly 2 million plus people there just vibrating that same energy, and it's very contagious, and it's addictive, and you can feel it. And everyone you speak to there, they say, this is like my second time back this week. I went home, but I had to come back. This is incredible. And I said, yep, same here. It's my third time back this week. So yeah, and I'll be going back again this week, unless, but we have
how far away are you then? How far are you traveling in?
It's like, so I'm in Toronto. I just got back. It was a quick 4-hour drive. So about 400 kilometers, right? So yeah, 4 hours on the highway. So now Toronto just yesterday started the trucker convoy here, and Toronto downtown has now been pretty much closed off thanks to the farmers and their tractors and the truckers. So I'm going to be heading down to Toronto first before I even decide to head back to Ottawa.
Is it true that the Ottawa police force are going to arrest anyone that tries to bring the truckers fuel and supplies now?
No, so they stopped the trucks coming in to refuel them because they didn't want no more vehicles coming in. So where the trucks have been stopped by many roadblocks, like cement roadblocks, right, have now been put in place. And let me tell you, it looks like something out of one of those Call of Duty maps there in downtown Ottawa. So it's very movie-like, video game-like, and so people are putting the jerry cans, filling the gas in jerry cans, the diesel, putting it on little carts, and they're wheeling it in directly to the truckers. So the people have come together amazingly for that purpose.
And obviously they need the fuel to keep warm. So essentially Trudeau's trying to sort of just freeze them out.
Yeah. And the prices have been jacked up too, like record-breaking high. So they're really pulling all the cards to make it that much more extra difficult. They've tampered with the GoFundMe now and the money to help fund and keep the truckers there and get what they need. So, yeah.
It was about 9 million, was it? 9 million Canadian dollars they took?
Oh, I heard it was 10 million. So
10?
maybe they might have released $1 million. I'm not too sure the details, but I'm sure this following days it's all going to come out. The government's going to somehow respond and make it their next speech or move. So yeah, this definitely, now they know that we're not going anywhere.
Oh, that's absolutely amazing. And like, so what do you think the permanent presence is there on the ground? Because there's always the chance that they'll sort of try and sort of sweep in when people are a bit weaker, sort of a bit lower in numbers. What's the permanent presence down there on the ground? Because getting 100,000 people, we've had hundreds of thousands out on our streets, maybe even millions. But having a permanent presence there, having more than 1,000 or a few hundred people there at the end of the day is something that's a bit shocking. So how many people are just sort of properly camped out, would you say? Because we heard about 50,000 trucks.
That's definitely a realistic number. I haven't been able to go count myself, especially in this cold, but I've seen some drone footage. I've walked around and see it. It's just endless. It's a beautiful sight, and yeah, it's amazing, and it's all across this country now. So, yeah, the numbers are there for sure. Definitely.
So what's going on with the other towns? Sorry, the other cities. So the other sort of provincial capitals.
So we got like a few provinces here. One of the provinces just removed some mandates, but Toronto, we're in the same province as Ottawa, so Ontario here. So now the two biggest cities in Ontario and Canada are now pretty much bogged up, locked down with truckers, farmers now too. So it's incredible. So this nation's about to go through some serious changes because we want our answers, and we finally stood up and locked down our big cities now.
Bloody hell.
Well,
Yeah.
We've got a mini convoy happening here apparently tomorrow.
Yeah. So we don't have a vehicle, so we're not whizzing around the M25, but they're going around the M25, the big road that goes around London today. Obviously nowhere near as big as your convoys over there, but there's a small convoy that's coming down. And
It's symbolic, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
In many ways.
The fact that we've got, and you see truckers sort of from the deserts of Australia all the way to the frozen north of Canada, just from one side of the world to the other.
Yeah.
And you've got people doing exactly the same thing. And also people in the Netherlands as well, I think. Was it feel looking around the world and seeing all of this and knowing that that's come from your country?
It's absolute. I'm honored, actually honored. I was still in a daydream about it, so I've honestly had no time to just process it and be like, "Wow, this is really happening," because it's been go back and forth, right, since it's begun, and every day is just something next level that I'm seeing and having to take in to see how the people of this country have just not only stepped up but really truly come together. The way I'm seeing people like donations of socks and clothes and just everything. The food, I never paid for anything all weekend for food. It's just the whole city is just lined with people because there's so many people there, right? So it's just, yeah. Incredible. Speechless, right? Speechless. So we're going with it. We're obviously treading carefully because we know that our government and our disappeared premier is about to make their next move. And the thing is, now Toronto is pretty much shut down because of trucker convoys and stuff. Ottawa already has like all police forces in Ottawa, right? So it's like, how are they going to disperse them back? Is there going to be a next call in? They are mentioning military tactics and stuff, maybe United Nations. But yeah, we'll see. But the people are stepping up. Like on the way home, let me tell you, every gas station, every car is now a freedom fighter. There's flags on them. There's bumper stickers. F Trudeau, just say no, remove all mandates. We support truckers. Like the whole country is just, this province at least has blown up with just a passion for freedom, right? So it's insane to see and witness right now.
Is there a section of society that's angry, like they've been whipped up by the mainstream media? They believe you guys are, what they're trying to make you out as. Like, are there any counter protests or anything like that happening?
Yeah, there's been a protest all weekend. I think Antifa, if you're familiar with Antifa over there, we have this group called Antifa, and they're just relentless with their disinfo and smear campaigns and false flags. They send in all the lunatics basically to make for the mainstream to create weird stories. So they're the ones that are doing all the statue stuff and vandalism and stuff. Like no one out here that I've seen was aggressive or harassing anyone. Everyone was just smiling and loving and just proud to wave their flags. that's honestly what I saw, right? But yeah, of course, with something so positive, there's always going to be the people that are negative. There was like certain flag burnings and some weird stories coming out of some sects and people calling themselves queens and burning flags. So we just do our best to ignore that and steer clear and make sure we're not associated with that, because it's exactly what the media over here wants to do.
Well, it's all orchestrated, isn't it? It's like, what was that Jesse Smollett thing, where that was like the big thing, that one man had allegedly been attacked by two people who said this is MAGA country, and it all just came out as fake. Like the fact they couldn't even fake one thing, it just seems a bit desperate. But I'm pretty sure. Are you worried about some sort of false flag, like with what seems to have happened with Max Egan?
Of course, a lot of people have been talking about it since the beginning, and yeah, still nothing crazy's happened. There's been no arrests, no nothing, right? So just everyone having a great time and coming home, returning back, and just experiencing this unique moment in history right now, right? So again, I've been there. I haven't witnessed anything of the sort that was shady or suspicious, right? Just talk, right? From social media or people that buy into fear propaganda. But again, it's been a weekend and not one problem. Just kids trying to cause some trouble and get noticed get some attention, I think. So nothing major's happened yet, but definitely talks of all kinds of false flags. Everyone's certain people are on their tippy toes about that, but yeah, we've been great so far.
Well, obviously the black shirts are all sort of funded by George Soros, aren't they?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. So it is a worldwide thing, the Antifa business, right? So
are any of the MSM starting to break in any way? Because sort of over here, we're noticing sort of more chinks in the armor. Like the narrative has really started to fall down, and it's sort of like a sort of drip feed at the moment. At first, there was just a wall, and they wouldn't crack, they wouldn't flinch, nothing. They'd admit nothing, and now they've started admitting, okay, maybe this was a little bit wrong, and then trying to gaslight you, say, oh, we were questioning it the whole time. But we're seeing some of the media outlets start to change their story in order to save face. Are you seeing any of that over there?
Not at all. If anything, it's gone the complete other direction. They've attacked this trucker convoy from the moment they've heard of it, right? And it continues, right? And the only thing that's broken, they haven't step back. They still stand their lies, but the people now, the country sees it for what it is, right? Because we've had 3, maybe 4 million people, who knows how many people have come and gone over the past week now, that have seen for themselves that the media is lying. It's not an extremist event with KKK clans and stuff like that. Nothing like that. So I think the people can see that the media here is continuing with their lies, but the people now have finally stood up and hopefully turned off the rubbish. Why? You guys at the media start telling the truth over there? I can't imagine the BBC.
Not telling the truth. No, not telling the truth, especially not BBC ITV. But
oh no, you won't get any truth on BBC.
But they're being a little bit. Sky News.
No,
we had a doctor that they filmed saying something sensible about the mandates, which is quite strange. Was that Sky News?
Was that Sky News or was that ITV? I'm not sure.
I think it was Sky News, but just little bits and pieces. So they're not going harder; they're getting softer, and that might be because we're British. Maybe that's sort of the tactic, just sort of dampen things down a little bit. Put a little, and then people shrug their shoulders and sort of go, oh,
Well, maybe they don't want an army of truckers descending on London, because maybe it's so they can try and focus on just one place. They can focus on Canada. They can focus on breaking the.
They don't want them
there.
popping all off at the.
Can you imagine if this happened in every single place at every single time?
Well, it can, and that's what they're trying to prevent.
Exactly, because it's they all work globally. They have all of their global coordination. Yeah. They've got the World Economic Forum and everything.
We have to work globally. We were talking
about
this last time, months ago. Yeah.
And they know now that we as a people have united globally or worldwide now, right? So that's why they're attacking the servers in Ottawa, that because they don't want what's going on to really get out there to the world. So that's why the network, I've never seen it so crap in my life and have so many issues and drops. So definitely.
Well, you don't want people putting out any conspiracy facts, do you?
Exactly. The facts, the truth.
Conspiracy facts, though. So they're the bad facts. They're the hate facts. Have you heard of hate facts? Hate facts are all of the facts that are really hateful. You've got to try and avoid all of them.
Yeah, we're not going to do any of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, where's the next place you think will sort of
So like
pop off like Canada has?
everything's popping off, and it's just now how long can we keep it like this, right? And how long will the governments and these officials like stand for it? Are they gonna budge and then say, okay, you win, or are they gonna come up with something else, right? So we got to hold the line, which is everyone's saying, which we are, and stand our ground and not give in. So we're at that point now, right? So yeah.
But we've seen this this new guy come out. Obviously, Eric O'Toole was kicked out as leader of the so-called Conservative Party over in Canada, and you've got a new guy who's now running for his position. What do you make of this guy? And what do you make of the fact that has he been down to sort of speak or support the truckers? Has he been speaking out against this all along, or is this?
So
more
a lot of those people, the O'Tooles, and we got the Randy Hilliers, we got certain officials speaking out, and the media has also attacked them, right? Especially there was a speech with Justin Trudeau, and he actually mentioned Maxime Bernier, who is the leader of the PPC party. So pretty much giving knocks and telling the country that these officials are out of line to be supporting, these freedom convoys and certain resistance, right? So it's frowned upon, and those people are being told not to follow them and not to trust them, right?
Are you seeing any MPs coming down to actually speak and support the people?
Yeah, so we've had a few from the beginning. Like I said, Randy Hillier, Derek Sloan. So we've had a couple, but again, like we had an election last year, and the PPC were the favorites for the Freedom People, but there was
they got slaughtered.
Yeah, pretty much.
I remember Chris was telling me before the election, and he was saying, "Don't worry about the election. The election's rigged. Don't focus on that. What we need is everyone to come together." United non-compliance, right? Just say no, and that will be the thing for change, not an election. And I was sitting there, I was thinking, well, that would be lovely if everyone could actually come together. But is everyone actually going to come together? Is this actually going to happen? And then, boom. And he was so convinced. He was so convinced that it was going to be Canada. He was like, they want to go for Canada. It's going to be Canada. Canada is the place.
And so were you. You were saying it to us as
well.
Yeah,
I remember. Yeah. Canada had to be. So it's like I told someone earlier, I'm like, there has to be Canada. I couldn't imagine a whole world jumping behind, like, not to be rude, like an African nation or a South American nation. It would have been harder, right? So I felt like the world is jumping behind because they know the history of Canada. We're known as the nicest, politest, not to step on anyone's toes type of nation, right? They don't want to get into problems. We've always said no to every war over the past century, right? So now the world is seeing that, wait, the nice people have stood up and are going against their government and these mandates. So it's like, okay, I feel like that's why it's getting more attention, and the people are jumping on board because I feel like there's more trust there with Canada as the nation that's doing it, right? So very privileged to be Canadian, very excited to see the whole world jumping behind, and the support is absolutely insane. So I feel like this is it. We're finally going to grow and unite as a people, and this is the big one. So this is such a unique moment. Still getting to grips with it. I'm just like still buzzing with everything. I can still see and hear the horns and the fireworks popping off. Like the celebrations is just madness. I've never seen anything like that at any festival, any concert, any sporting event, any parade, any Canada Day celebration. This is the most mind-blowing thing I've ever been a part of and seen in my life. Insane. Excuse me, babies. So I'm going to text Chris, tell him that we're here, make sure he's on his way because he's still up there in Ottawa, right? So, guys.
You sent him the...
Yeah, I emailed him the link. If you want to, I
I'm
said
going to
if you
quickly
could send
text
it
him.
over
Yeah,
as well.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure that he can jump on.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the New World Order underestimated Canada? Like they didn't think that Canada would come up in the way they have done.
It's like, it's hard to say because, you know, I've been looking at this for a while and it's like, if I felt it and knew it, then obviously they knew it too, right? So it's, you know, it's, I want to go in, I'm absorbing everything, right? I'm not like holding back at all, but a part of me is like, yeah, is how could this possibly be? Is there a reason? Is it just by chance, right? So, but yeah, the fact that it is us and the world standing behind us, it's hard to see why they'd allow it that way. It really definitely could be the people taking a stand, and it's God-given that way. So,
well, I mean, it's like you say, like the way you feel amongst all these people in this moment, in this city, says a lot, doesn't it? Like if it feels good to you, if it feels life affirming, if you know you've never felt this like high before, then there's definitely some good in it.
Definitely,
you know,
Eva. Let me tell you, Ottawa is 4 hours away, right? And we'd stop, say, like a 5-hour trip one way. I've done it in 1 week, 3 times back and forth, right? And I don't like driving anywhere further than an hour, right? I don't even like going into the city, which is 20 minutes away because of all the traffic and the people. But this thing has got me there. I went there the first day and I was like, oh my God, this is really happening. This is something I've dreamed of forever, right? So especially the last 2 years, this is what we've all been working for and doing what we've been going through to wake our nations up and our people and unite this world and show them, yeah, it's our time to take a stand against obvious, clear tyranny, right? So it's our time to decide which part of history we want to be on. So yeah, going back there, definitely, like I said, addictive. It's such a high that the freedom, that it's just life, right? Because the life's been flatlined the past 2 years, right? With all the distancing and the whatnot, right? We won't get into that, but yeah, now it's like, not only is it like freedom, it's like something like way more freedom than we've ever had. So humanity is incredible.
I was going to ask, what sort of ages are you seeing in the crowd as well?
So,
Because usually, like at some of the protests, you get a lot of boomers, or certain protests, you've got a sort of a younger crowd. What sort of crowd are you guessing?
oh, right now the crowd is every age from like as young as 3 months to as old as possibly 90, and every race, every nationality, every culture. Like it's like, from all the mini stand-ins in the parks, there were a lot of people from like communist countries that have experienced and seen what it is. So they were always the first ones there at our rallies from the beginning. They just, you know, because they experienced it. So now it's just every walk of life, not just people that came from communism. It's all Canadians now that have just been born here and never left. They finally see it now. Those are the kinds of people I've run into and hugged and taken pictures with in Ottawa. It's just fantastic. I saw a father and his children wheeling a wheelbarrow with their music playing and dancing, just coming down one of these streets away from all the noise, right? And I was like, look at this, you know. They got their little snowsuits on because, yeah, it's freezing, but everyone is out there doing their own mini celebration, whatever it is, feeding, dancing, and or just playing their own music in a cart.
Yes. Jealous.
I am slightly jealous. I feel like all of the Marxists who were sort of sure that there was going to be, their great communist revolution over here, and they're like, no, it's never going to happen somewhere like Russia. And I'm looking over at Canada. I'm like, it's entirely possible it could happen in Canada. But I would love it to happen here. I was like, we've got so many protests, everything's so organized, we're getting bigger crowds, right? And you guys, you've stolen it from us. You've stolen you have stolen all of the glory, right? And I'm upset with you.
Wow.
I'm
Well,
very.
That's how you want to look at it, right? But
that is, it's not. It's not. how
England's
it
had
looks,
enough glory, trust me, mate. Like England's been in the glory for the last like half a millennium almost, right? So Canada's been honestly non-existent, just a fun-loving ice skating nation, right? As people, but now Canada's just changed to, and I feel like it's because we've never been involved in any drama in the last few centuries, never been involved in war, never had been picked on, you know. We just like we're USA's friendly neighbor, right? So the fact that we got hit so hard with the tyranny and the Chinata, people have been calling it, and it's like, whoa, we Canadians have never done anything or annoyed anyone, and so why would our own government pretty much imprison the whole people, right? And took a while for them to realize what was going on.
Maybe they thought they could get away with it, and they made their first big mistake.
Exactly.
Well, this is the thing, because a few people, you know, our friend Owen, shout out to Media Consumer 911. He's always saying they're really clever. They've planned everything through, and that, you know, they've got all their plan. Everything is planned out. And some people say, oh, they're planning for you to take your government down. I'm like, wait a second. But if you don't take your government down, then they'll just steamroll all of this through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people say, oh, they've got everything planned. But I think their arrogance at the end of it is to go forward and to try and do this, because at the end, like, it's all essentially a big pyramid scheme. And that's where, you know, you see like the eye in the pyramid and everything like that. It literally is a pyramid scheme. It's like, is Justin Trudeau or Castro feeling safe right now? Does Kim Jong, which is it, Kim Jong Un that we're on now?
I can't remember which one. Yeah.
Oh, is Kim safe?
Well, Justin Trudeau will never sleep properly again in his life after this.
Oh,
I'm sure.
And the arrogance of these people, because after what they've done, they're not going to be safe walking down the street. And that's the thing, you know, they're not going to be safe. And that's not people saying, oh, go out and attack them. But if you've put in these measures, and these measures have cost people their businesses, their lives, like they've lost their home, like their families falling apart, like they don't see their kids anymore, right?
They're destroying their own countries.
Yeah, and the chances of getting decked in the face by someone that you've destroyed the entire life of, right? And if you've done that to millions of people, even if 0.01% of those people were angry enough or infuriated enough to come up and confront you, your life would be unlivable. And that it's just the arrogance of that, and the arrogance of thinking, okay, we put in this great plan, we get away with all of it. Well, how the hell do you, like, if your plan fails, it's not going to go well. And it's even worse if they succeed, because then they're in literally just a pyramid scheme. Because whoever's at the top, once you have this new world order, once you have this sort of global communist regime, they're not going to sleep safe at night. They're not going to know that they're safe. They're literally waiting. Like, people are going to be there with daggers, like, you know, waiting to stab them in the back.
No, you're right. He can't come back here now. I can't see, with the amount of people that I've seen, the millions that are so anti-Castro Trudeau now, right? It's like, how can he ever come back and win the people over again, right? It's done. Unless he says, okay, you know, everyone wants him to be held accountable for his crimes against humanity, right? That's where the people are at now. They've finally woken up and seen the horror for what it truly is. And now, yep, he is disappeared. He's in hiding. He's pulled every excuse in the book to be somewhere else but here. So, yeah.
And is there any updates, or is there any news of his location? Has he done any more of his sort of divine proclamations?
So there's a lot of signs, a lot of protesters in Ottawa this weekend with signs saying, where is Trudeau? Actually, there's a number going around for Ottawa police for people to call in saying to report Justin Trudeau missing, right? So yeah, he's missing. So there's some memes going around on milk cartons. Where's the Prime Minister, right? So yeah, people want answers, and he's nowhere to be seen, found. Yeah, where is Trudeau?
Well, one thing that I'll ask you, and that I wanted to ask Chris as well when he gets there.
Yeah, I'm just
I
gonna.
wanted to ask sort of what are the plans next, going forward? Because you're in this standoff, there is this siege. I don't think they can use the military. They'll probably try and stop the supplies, or we've heard they're trying to sort of stop people going in with the fuel with the police. They might try arresting people going in with fuel, but they're not going to be able to stop people. It's a big city. There are lots of roads going in. People will smuggle the fuel in. People will drive their cars in with full tanks, take
Exactly.
out the fuel, and then they'll drive straight back out of the city. And
And
it's not feasible. You're not going to stop every car with a full tank. The car will be the tank,
no, these truckers are our heroes now. The whole country from West Coast to East Coast has, like I said, gone trucker crazy, and they are the heroes that the nation wants to get behind, and it's not going away. They've been there a week. They're planning on being there for as long as it takes, right? And yeah, like you said, the people, like we've got a whole nation behind them. The fuel will get to those trucks no matter what, right? So whether they wheel them in, whether they just bring it in with their own vehicles and wire a pipe to their thing, like we're gonna make it happen. Like I'm impressed by what we've been able to make happen this past week, and it continues to go on and gather the steam and the momentum. And yeah, very yeah, it's incredible. So it's currently still in progress. It's very, very much so a developing situation, right? So, and it's not dying down. It's not withering out. It is gaining more fuel to this fire. Absolutely amazing. This is it.
But what do you think is going to be their next move? Because if they can't use the military, if they haven't used the military so far, and it doesn't look like they can, then
I got a theory.
Yeah, also, sorry, go on.
Yeah, I'll tell you. So again, there's at least, I don't know, must be 100,000 police officers in Ottawa alone, right? Just pockets of them. Just in one site alone, I could see 400 police all in one spot. So there's an insane amount. Whether they're gonna turn on the people and they haven't done anything of the sort. So then the next thing will be the military. I don't think the military will turn on the people, right? I think they possibly could wake up, and I think the government might know that the military might not be an option because they potentially could have lost their trust. So guess who they could turn to? It's the United Nations troops, right? So in the first lockdown, every hour, there was a flight coming into Pearson, the Canadian airport right here, bringing in flights from China. And people were saying it was Chinese military being trained in Canada. So if that's true, and the government knows that they're not going to be able to rely on their military, it's going to be these troops from China or whatever, these United Nations troops, if it's even a thing, right? So I'm not trying to get too into conspiracies, but this has definitely been a talk. People are mentioning it. So it's either the military or it's United Nations, and we have seen UN vehicles right here in our city, right?
I can understand that. It's just whether they've got the UN numbers within Canada to do it. It just looks like it's sort of some sort of, game over for them. But there's always the chance that they just sort of do nothing, that they try and just make this a siege and a standoff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering whether their option, because they can't do anything, is to do nothing. And what will happen in that situation where they don't attack because they can't attack. They don't have the numbers to attack. But then
they'll have to turn to technology, right? If they can't rely on human bodies to do their dirty work, whether it's our own military or whether it's a foreign entity, right, that they can rely on, then maybe it's technology. We don't know what technology they have. We do know that there's these 5G towers and talks of what they're capable of, right? So we don't know how and what they could be used for, other than faster download speeds, right? So If they can't rely on human bodies, there must be some form of technology or AI they could rely on. So I don't know. But there's
Well,
gonna
I'm
be
just wondering. Oh yeah, because we were talking about sort of me being jealous. I'm jealous in that I see this as like a great opportunity. It's like Chris was saying in his speech. He was saying this is the opportunity for a golden age. Because it really is, you know, at the changing of a system, at the changing of, you know, it's sort of a nexus point in history.
And after a war, after a big war.
And after a big war, there's a chance to change things, and they want to create the chaos, and then they want to do their reset, right? Which isn't even, well, I don't know whether they're trying to reset it back to feudal times, but they'd have something worse.
We don't know
probably.
how many stages they're going to go through, whether they're trying to destroy society right down to the ashes and then build from there, or destabilize it just enough to sort of slip in. But how are they going to slip in when you've got events like this going over the world and the mass awakening that seems to be happening?
And like personally, like I don't know. I'm gonna ask you, how long do you think we can continue what we have going on without some sort of intervention from our government, right? Like from outsiders looking in, because it's hard for me to process it right now because I've been in it from the moment they arrived, right? So it's been really hectic. But yeah, I also have been trying to think along those lines. What next, right? So, and how long we can keep this going, and very proud to see a weekend it's gained the strength, and definitely I could see it being growing the numbers again for this a third week, right? So that's definitely what's going on, but I'm not sure if there's going to be an intervention between the third week or the fourth week. So that's where, like you said, where we're standing right now. So we can keep this going, but the government, we already know, does not want it to continue.
Are you worried that they might try and boil the frog, sort of like they're doing over here? Right, they've wound back on some things, but they're keeping a whole load of things going. But by relieving some of the pressure, it's sort of, you know, we were saying before, the whole sort of, you know, 5 steps backward, you know, 2 steps forward or something like that. So people go, oh, do you know what? It's not that bad. But it's the relative difference. Do you think they might be trying to sort of play something like that? And do you think they might try a sort of a shuffle where they move in someone instead of Trudeau? So he disappears off into the sunset. Trudeau disappears, but then they bring someone else, some sort of, you know, new golden boy, some sort of like Messiah-like figure who says, oh, no, I'm going to make everything better. And sort of subtly appeases a couple of things. That's sort of the bare minimum, but then they can sort of creep through everything else. Like we're talking about the driverless trucks, okay? Making sure that you can't have all of these truck drivers the next time, making sure that there are sort of some temporary barriers in the roads which they could just pop up like that. You know, you've seen those bollards that they can lay down and pull up in the roads, and that they can
definitely. So like I said, that's where the technology they have can come in. They've been up to no good the past 2 years with their wiring or putting whatever they're putting underground and stuff, and obviously the 5G towers. So, and again, you're talking about a Messiah-like figure. So that sounds like a one world order, right? So that's what the new world order is. Then obviously there's going to be a one world leader for that new world order, and a one world religion, government. So this is insane. These are like sounding like very biblical, apocalyptic times we are going through. And I'm starting to see it more and more, especially after what I'm seeing going on in Ottawa. And I'm heading to Toronto tomorrow to go stand and speak with all the farmers there and all those truck drivers and make sure that, yeah, are you ready to stay and hold the line and make it and get what's going on in Ottawa to happen here and spread across this whole country and every nation across the world. So
well, that's the thing. When you've got like this sort of Messiah-like figure, they're the person that you actually can't trust, because we know a whole bunch of people in the resistance over here, and they all have their flaws. There's always something to criticize about them, you know.
It's human.
Exactly, right? People go on at Piers and say, oh, Piers Corbyn looks really scruffy,
He does.
right? Or they'll yeah, he does look quite scruffy, but he's a really hard worker, and he's been out there every day, and he's always fighting it, and he saw it coming before just about everyone else, right? people, you know, they'll have a sort of a go at David Curtin, and they'll say, "Oh, David, well, you know," they'll sort of call him posh.
But
And this and that.
basically, when they do roll out this sort of figure, if they do this sort of antichrist sort of figure, we should know not to trust them. But
Yeah, definitely.
mean,
Especially if
the-
they're trying to give you something that they took away in the first place. So that's what it is. And people will be like, "Oh wow, he let us go out for 20 minutes today, and he's amazing." Like, that's not someone you can trust, right? That's not some messiah like figure.
yeah,
But-
I think it's important that people stay really strong, because they are going to try and break us all down to the point where we'll just, you know, if someone comes along and says, "Oh, you know, I can make it all better,"
Yeah.
people will be so desperate that they'll sort of accept that. But as long as we keep staying strong, and one of the ways we do this, I guess, is through events like this. Like, you know, you've been totally revitalized, haven't you, by being around these truckers in this rally?
Well, yeah. I was revitalized from the very first 2020 business that went on, and was excited just to see that there was 20 to 50 other people that were against it. That was amazing, right? So, but yeah, this is, like I'm saying, is one of these moments. I don't want to like. It's just like, it really is a unique moment to see. Like, I've never. When can we say that people came together like this to go against a modern day government, and especially in Canada? So yeah, again, it's very going to be processing it for a while now. I actually tried to call Chris and message him, so I'm not sure what he's got caught up in, but you know, he did say he'll jump on for a few minutes after 6, so I sent the reminders, so we'll see what happens with that. So sorry about that.
Well, he's busy leading the resistance, though, isn't he? And
Oh yeah,
I was going to ask him what else have they been up to with regards to him, because I don't know. They tried to stop him from seeing his wife. They tried to frame him as a terrorist. They put him on the terrorist no-fly list.
Yeah.
What else have they been up to try and interfere with what he's been doing?
well, the whole province, Ontario, the province that he works in, resides, has his whole business in, is pretty much gone against him, and tried to make his life a living hell in Ontario. He can't walk down the street without, you know, a cop hovering around about to arrest him, you know what I mean? So that's what it's been for him for 2 years. So I don't blame him for leaving and going to the next province over, right? So it's they haven't left him alone. It's constant. He's on his like 15th or 16th Instagram account, or like his social medias, they blow up. Like, after he gets one deleted and gets the next one up, he's already at like 80,000 within that day, right? And then they'll block that one. So I'm constantly adding Chris Sky's new accounts like weekly, right? Because the message needs to get out, and that's how it's done. And he's currently creating his own social media now because he's had enough. So it's going to be on his website, realchrisSky.com. So I'm excited for Chris Sky's going to have his own Facebook, right? So censorship free.
Well, for videos, you've definitely got to get him onto Odyssey as well, getting more and more people onto the platform.
Who's the guy that's recently joined?
Majid Nawaz is over. Like, you've got some musicians coming over that we saw. And like we were talking about Lucas Lyon the other day, who got booted off. Was it 120,000?
Yeah, they're even going after musicians now.
Yeah,
Like, even ones with quite a big audience, they're going after them. But the internet has to be ours as well. Like, we need to gain ground on the internet, because we can't just be pushed off these big tech sites like Instagram and keep coming on. Like, Chris can do it, but not all of us can do it. So we've got to make our areas, our free speech areas, more mainstream.
Yeah.
And then we can have more of a connection and a communication across, because I mean, this is really important, talking cross country. We need to make sure we keep that.
So another.
and I want to say
ahead.
a big thank you to all of the people who are watching at the moment on Odyssey. We've got I think it's about 40 people watching. We've got Gold Leaf here. Yeah, I think we're sub to Gold Leaf, aren't we?
I don't.
Breaking Ottawa police move against peaceful protesters, arresting truckers in the streets.
Is that true?
Not sure if that's confirmed,
Are
but
you seeing that?
I don't know.
Maybe that's
I don't
that's
know.
why Chris is busy. You know what? I gotta quickly see this, but yeah, because I
Oh,
just
go find out.
this is oh wait, breaking news. Canadian. Hold on, sorry, there's something going on.
Yeah. Find out. We'll have a look.
Oh, okay. So I got breaking
Nice.
news. Canadian capital declares state of emergency
State of emergency.
over Freedom
Sorry.
Convoy. Ottawa mayor calls emergency due to ongoing trucker convoy protests. Freedom Convoy truckers and their pedestrian supporters have taken over downtown Ottawa. Mayor Jim Watson told News Talk Radio earlier on Sunday, lamenting that police have been outnumbered by the demonstrators. He wants the federal government to help squash the protest. The situation at this point is completely out of control because the individuals with the protest are calling the shots, Watson said, the mayor. They have far more people than we have police officers, and I've indicated to the chief that we have to be much more nimble and proactive when it comes to these activities. Watson pleaded with the federal government to sit down and have some kind of discussion, some kind of mediation to get the situation resolved. So, yeah, state of emergency has now been declared in our nation's capital.
Oh, wow.
So
whilst we've been on air, thank you to Gold Leaf.
Yes, this is wild. So I just want to see if he mentioned arrests were being taken place. So I'm just going to double check again if that's what's the case. Wow.
Is that bad?
Very. So like I said, it's continually developing, and we won't know our next step until the government makes their next move. Now, this is a huge move, a state of emergency. So I'm not sure if this falls under the Emergency Act that we have here in Canada, but that's what we're going on about. This could potentially be a martial law situation, which is what the Emergency Act is. And the first and only prime minister of this country to enforce that was Pierre Trudeau, the supposed father of Justin Trudeau Castro.
Oh.
So,
yeah, what happened with that when that happened the first time? Because you mentioned it before.
Sorry, say that again. It kind of like dingled out.
What happened in the first state of emergency? I apologize for not having done my homework.
Yeah, same here. I don't have that on the top of my head right now, but I forget. You know what I mean? I should have had that brought up before I mentioned it. But wow. So yeah, I'm just feeling all crazy right now, dying to see what's going on. So obviously that's a reason why Chris hasn't got back, because this was all just happened right now. Gone past 6, so they declared it probably while we were on here 20 minutes ago. So that's exactly what's been coming out.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah. Unbelievable, guys. Whoa. Yeah. So, someone says the emergency was called hours ago. So, yeah, not sure.
Oh.
Well, probably while I was driving out of the city. So, wow.
Yeah, it just seems to have come through on the news here.
Well, people was probably just reporting it, and everyone's probably just about hearing it. Everyone was probably making about 100 calls and working out what they were going to do.
So obviously, if it was oh boy, wow. Oh my goodness.
Do you want to like jump off maybe and like make some phone calls yourself and find out? You can if you like.
Yeah, an hour ago, state of emergency called. Yeah, this is what's coming out. It is official. So if you'd like me to jump off quick and gather some stuff, then yeah, I gotta get to it quickly. Then
we won't keep you if you want to like go and find out what's happening, because obviously, as you say,
some serious resisting has got to be done right now. So I've been ready for this my whole life, especially the last 2 years. We knew somehow it was going to lead up to this. We didn't know how. We thought they were just going to enforce it over the nonsense that's been going on the past couple of years, but they somehow found a way to make it so that it's because of us and not them, right? Even though they're calling all the shots and putting us in these situations to have to take a stand. And now we've taken a stand. They found their excuse. to pull the Emergency Act and the state of emergency cards. So yeah.
And I'm presuming that Ottawa is in the hands of the so-called Liberal Party. I just find it ironic that they
Liberals, for
literally
sure.
call themselves the Liberal Party. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just like,
So we had Conservative, that preceded the Liberals. I knew it was going to go downhill with Liberals, but I knew the Conservatives weren't that great. I didn't want them, so I even was helping out with another party that again got demolished. Right? Not something like PPC. It wasn't nothing like that. It was the NDP party, right? So, but yeah, the Liberals.
is that New Democracy?
Yeah, the New Democratic Party.
New Democrat.
Yeah.
So, wait, this seems quite dramatic. So, do you think
it is
that
dramatic.
this is so? It will be in the hands of the Liberal Party. So, if the city's in the hands of the Liberal Party, then this will have to have been coordinated with Trudeau, I'm presuming, because they're all working together. They're all in the same party. He's their party leader.
Yes, sir. The leader of that party. So
this would be something that he's orchestrated. This would be something probably coming from
of
him.
course, which is why he's in hiding and disappeared, because he very well knew this was going to happen and he was going to call.
So
I cannot believe this.
So he's probably got them to call for him to then do something. So he goes, well, it's not me. It's not me.
Oh, he's put like a gap between him and this.
Well, it's basic politics. He would say, no, it's not me. I've been called upon to go in. You know, the people of Ottawa, they are screaming. They are calling out for me. They're calling out. They're saying, Mr. Blackface Man,
No.
please.
Yeah, but this is not on. Honestly, there is no absolute need to be calling in military or pulling a state of emergency. I just told you before we found out that I've seen nothing but beautiful human scenes happening there, from children having the times of their life, from the elderly living and not being like trapped away from people. Like, everyone is having the best time. I've never seen people come together for something like this that doesn't involve sports and concerts and musicians, right? This is insane. So I'm praying right now that everyone's going to be safe in Ottawa. As I've just left, Chris is still there, so he's obviously on the front lines with this, with the commanders of this resistance. So yeah, I'm honestly going to quickly go. I'm not sure if you guys want me to jump back on, if you're going to keep this going, but I'm definitely.
We'll end it here. We'll let you go, and perhaps we can talk to you soon, and you can give us more updates.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And if you want to send us any more footage, then the more footage that we've got. One thing that would be lovely if you could interview a few people and just get why they're out there, what their main things are.
Yeah, if you talk to anyone and just a few more voices to sort of like strengthen this sort of record we've got of saying this is what it's like. This is not what the way the media is trying to portray it.
And it's the variance as well. Like we always go out, we get the big speeches, we often interview those people. Then we just interview people on the ground.
Any voices from the ground that you get.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I'll get that footage on behalf of the Resistance, Great Britain. Absolutely fantastic work, guys, Wilsey and Laura, and yeah, I probably actually want to head back there, 'cause
before he gets trapped outside of the city.
They won't even let me in now. So I want to get there before any so-called troops or foreign entities or military get there. So, wow.
That's okay. You get off. Make sure you got battery packs, right? Battery packs, most important thing. Cables. Make sure everything's charged. So, if you can't get power, you can't get anything.
Yeah, I got the battery packs. I make sure I've always got power and extra data and whatnot. So to cover it, even though I'm not too trusting of the network there, I'll just like film it, get the good quality version. I'll still report it like I'm live if that's what I'm doing, or just capture it and then save it to camera roll, because I don't like messing with crappy quality footage, right? And having to download it off of Facebook or YouTube or wherever the live took place. So when you played the speech, it was kind of choppy, right? I was wondering, for me, I didn't see it play smoothly. So the sound was good. So hopefully that everyone got to see it play smoothly. But yeah.
The
No,
footage
it
has
was
been
beautiful.
absolutely perfect.
Yeah,
we
no,
put it
it's
out,
good.
what was it, 7:30?
Yeah.
We put it out 7:30 here, so that was about about 4.5 hours ago. And yeah, people have been loving it. It's been really popular, and people want more news from Canada, and we need to show people here. We need to show, and we've not just got an audience here, we've got, you know, all around the world. We've got Nigel, right? If you're watching from Trinidad and Tobago, Nigel, who's always sending us love from Trinidad and Tobago, all of the people from all around the world, and it's
all eyes are on you guys.
yeah, it's getting the news out there. And I think maybe for future ones of these, we need to invite on a few more people. We're thinking of inviting on Tim Truth. I don't know if you know him. He's massive on Odyssey. He's been covering all the protests, even the stuff in the Netherlands was great, because I was trying to find a feed, and he literally had all the feeds up.
We'll connect other people as well.
And quickly, I can see some of my Crusaders here in the chats and our Canadians over here. So this is Wilsey and Laura. They're with the British Resistance. This is worldwide. Our mainstream media is not sharing what's going on in other nations, especially protesters in other nations. So yeah, guys, please tell them again, from a country outside looking into Canada, how it is. Like, it's unbelievable, right? So yeah.
And if there are any people in Australia, in New Zealand, in the United States, we need to get everything linked up. We need to get all of these videos shared out around the world.
We've had a very strong resistance over in this country, and we are not under harsh restrictions, but we are watching.
You guys have been strong since the beginning. And the fact that we finally got the strength we have now is just mind-blowing. And like I said, never better late than never, right? So, and it's finally happened. So
it's a shared strength, and we feel it. We do.
And before we go, guys, please do go over and sub to Nico's channels.
Follow his socials,
appreciate it. Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, it's fantastic. And honestly, it's been a worldwide effort, because people have seen, Canadians have seen the rallies and stuff, and the people marches that you lot have put on and had in London, and we've been jealous for a long time. It's like, you guys have 1 million people there in France, they're in London, maybe they're in Australia, and we've been struggling with to get to 10,000 most of the time, right? So again, I think it's been a worldwide effort with the worldwide resistance. And we couldn't have got to this point without knowing and seeing that every other nation was resisting and had these massive amounts of numbers. So definitely thank you all to every nation, especially you guys, right? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And we'll try and get the link pinned in the chat. If people can try and post Nico's links, so everyone can go over, everyone can subscribe directly to him. He's been doing absolutely amazing work. He got us the absolutely amazing footage earlier. He got us the absolutely amazing drone footage as well. And we're hopefully going to have more and more and more stuff from Canada.
And it's great to get an update from someone who was there as well. I can actually talk.
Yeah, I gave it to you guys. You guys have it, the exclusive on it right now. I haven't even posted it myself. I can't. I'm banned on all my socials. They're giving me strikes left, right, and center. Conveniently, as a revolution kicks off in our capital, I get the strike the same day from some ridiculous. So I've been struggling. I got like almost 8,000 subscribers that I'm dying to get some footage to. They've been messaging me.
Well, let's try and make that. Let's try and make that. Up to actually 8,000. Let's try and get those subscribers up to 8,000. Everyone, if you can share around Nico, sub to him. Make sure when he's putting out stuff, you can share it as well. Because we can get that up to 8,000, we can get up to 10,000.
And we can strengthen this network that we're building.
Exactly. And we need to boost you on Odyssey. So you've got to make
that. I see that.
5 minutes. You've got to make that Odyssey account, and we'll boost you up, boost your channel, and just so everyone can see what's going on. But thank you so much, Nico.
Yeah, we'll let you go.
Yeah, we're sorry for taking up your time.
I don't want to have to run, but state of emergency is a state of emergency, right? So
It is indeed.
now
Yep.
you guys know you're
In-
gonna watch and stay. I'll make sure you guys can all see, because who knows what's gonna happen in your nation and whoever else's nation is watching. So if we're here, we're gonna make sure we keep in touch and so that we can all share and learn, so that if it does come to anyone else's house, then we'll know how to deal with it. All right. So God bless everyone. I gotta go, and I'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Love you all.
Talk to you soon.
All the best, Nico. I think we'll just shall we lead people out with a little bit more of the speech from earlier today, so they can see the crowds again.
Yeah, we can leave people out with that.
Rightio.
That's the other one. You need the.
Oh, wait a second. Let me
This
pull
is
in.
the drone footage. We've got a few of these. We'll release these as well.
Yes.
There's some beautiful scenes there, just outside of Parliament.
There we go.
That's the one you want.
Revolution.
Our country has completely changed. Before I can even begin, I have to start by, number one, thanking our truckers.
Look at that. Look at the crowds. It's beautiful down there as well.
Not enough can be said for these frontline warriors that took it upon themselves to be the first group in Canada to stand in united non-compliance. And before I can go any further, I want you all to thank yourselves for being here. Because without you supporting this movement, supporting the truckers, supporting everyone who's been fighting since day one, we would not be here. We would not have this movement. We would not have this power. So thank you, Canada, from the bottom of my heart.
People saying it's a psyop. Is this based in reality, or is this attempts at bringing the mood down?
Sorry, this how is this bringing the mood down? I don't know how this could. If this is a downer, then
No,
you've got
the
chronic
idea that
depression.
it's a psyop.
Nah, you just gotta watch out
The importance of what
for
we're
the Christ
doing
like
here
figure.
today will go down in
hate the
history
Yeah,
as one of the most significant.
and I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen him in
solidarity
person,
in
but Chris
human
looks a little bit too
history.
short to be Messiah. So I think that maybe
For
his
nearly
is
2
one flaw.
years, I've been doing every single
stops
thing
him
in
from
my
being the
power,
Messiah.
and so have many others, to try to achieve
Tank
what
tops as
people
well.
thought could not happen. The people coming together, despite of all the ways they try to
Beautiful
divide us, despite
Maybe
of all
I'll
the lies and
replace
propaganda,
some of the,
we stand united. We stand
Censor
strong.
beeps.
And Canada is now the beacon of light and hope and freedom for the entire world.
Can't place them with me.
Maybe we should actually just clip the horn.
Yeah, and instead of having Canadian horn.
Canadian horns. That's what we need to do in future. That's our new censorship,
That the
baby.
docile, the friendly, the nice Canadians would be the ones to stick their feet into the sand.
That's an
and
interesting
say,
point,
enough
though.
is enough.
Exactly.
It's time
The
to
people
take
least
our
likely
country
to.
back.
America's cat independence. People thought they could take everyone for granted, but no. It's always where you least expect it.
And our voice
Look at him, he's having the time of his life.
so far around the world. You see convoys in Australia bearing Canadian flags. You see trucks in the Netherlands bearing Canadian flags. You see the people of Brazil screaming, "Go Canada!" Switzerland have gotten rid of restrictions.
Yeah, but is that we don't know enough about the restrictions? It seems like
Yeah, but now's the time. Blood's in the water.
Only ones. They're going to be the first of many. The domino has started to fall.
Indeed.
The tidal wave is coming in, ladies and gentlemen. And it's coming here to Canada. What do we see already? Besides the fact that our fearless leader is nowhere to be seen hiding in a hole, making threats that he can't cash in on. What do we see? Scott Moe in Saskatchewan backing down against the mandates. Jason Kenney in Alberta backing down against the mandates. And why? They're going to say it's because they got Omicron under control. No, it's because we got
Good work,
them
Enrico.
under control. Yes! Yes! Make no mistake, they would keep their foot on your throat as long as you would allow. If we stood idly by, we would be like Quebec, where you gotta go into a jail cell to go to a Walmart. I think that, yeah, you laugh it up, but that's still part of Canada. That's still our brothers and sisters. We need to get them
Rotten on the
game.
inside.
We need to bring them into this fold. We need to get them their freedom back. We need to get freedom back for everybody, not just here.
Thank you,
but
Audising.
around the world.
such a reason.
We are reaching.
Have you seen his eyebrows fall off?
Of phase 2.
You've not seen Trudeau's eyebrows fall off?
Taking action.
You need to look up Trudeau's eyebrows falling off. I'm not sure how to do the window capture on here yet, but I will soon. And then you'll see his eyebrows fall
Moving into
off.
phase 3 of United Non-Compliance. My personal favorite.
It's just sort of like he's sweating and his eyebrows will start disappearing.
Oh, are you looking for his eyebrows off?
No, they're like they're stuck on. He doesn't really...
It doesn't really.
I'm not saying it's necessarily confirmed. I've just seen
If these
photographic evidence
politicians
towards
think
his
they're just
eyebrows
gonna
not being
flip-flop
done.
and change sides
I've
because
also
they
seen
read the writing on
photographic
the
evidence
wall
to suggest
and all
that
of a
he is a
sudden
black
be hailed
man.
as heroes, they got another thing coming.
Okay.
If these puppets like Trudeau
Here's the big
think that they're
question.
just gonna
Who's
fade off
blacker,
into
me or
obscurity
Trudeau?
So they can pull this shenanigans on us whenever
Well,
they
I
feel
don't know.
like
He
they got
looks very
another
black
thing
in all the
coming.
pictures I see.
We are in a position where we can not just get our freedoms back, we can reshape our country in a way that makes it better than it ever was. Better than any country in the history of the planet. We have the largest landmass, the most resources, the most diverse population. There is no reason why without the right governance, we cannot have a golden era of Canada, where people have so much more than they ever thought possible. And it's all how we react now. They're going to try to do everything. You've seen what they're trying to do in the media with the racist movement. It's anti-Semitic, it's anti-black, it's anti-homophobic, it's homophobic, it's transphobic.
Well, they don't like Trudeau, do they?
Are you serious? Can you even walk around more than 5 steps?
Maybe he's gonna say that it's all
without
racism.
someone smiling at you, or shaking your hand, or giving you a high five.
Wait, so there's convoys going on. So the people driving all around the UK. They're not
There
just
are.
not just
Police,
headed to
God
London.
bless their souls.
They are headed
God
to
bless
London
you
as the
all.
destination.
I know you don't
Tomorrow
do what
morning.
you want to do, but they admitted that we had over 2.5
Morning.
million people in Ottawa.
So much for me having any sleep. It's like 7% of the population. Game over. 3% the American Revolution. 3%. That's what you need for a
Wait,
revolution.
what's the population? of
Let
Canada?
alone had crime or anything. And this
Population
is what the
Canada is about 30
cities
million.
been pulling Try not to let us get rid of garbage. Try not to let us pump out porta potties. Try to prevent emergency vehicles from where they gotta go. Why? So they
Stopping
can try to make this
ambulances
look
is
bad.
disgusting.
So they can try to make this look unlawful. There is nothing more lawful than standing up for what's right.
Trudeau for prison. Trudeau. Look, maybe you should have a name that I
And
can
what's
pronounce.
more,
I'm not having no truck with these Frenchies. Thanks, Stu. I presume that they're in there somewhere. Apparently that the vaccines coming out, Nico said.
how good does that feel?
This is Nico's footage, by the way, so please do sub to him,
You
guys.
know what that is? That's love. That's love, ladies and gentlemen. That's what they don't want the world to realize. That love is the most powerful force in human nature. Love is what is driving this movement. And when you have united non-compliance from love, when you have everybody ready to just say no out of love, it cannot be stopped. And if you love your country, and if you love your family, and if you love your children, and we want to protect their future, we have to stand together. We have to hold the line, and we have to keep moving forward. Let's go! Let's go!
Sound of the trucks, like Nico said, I think it was before we went on live, it sounds like trumpets, like English trumpets. But to the people that don't support this, it sounds awful, and they're like all over Reddit crying because they can't sleep.
In any
But-
fight,
Too much soy.
in any fight, the winner will always be the one who's willing to die to win that fight. And I stand here before
Berserker.
you, and I pledge my life, my very last breath, to fighting for freedom. And if you are with me, if you feel the same way, then scream out, freedom!
Actually, wonderful camera work. I really like it. Even got his, even got him kissing his girlfriend. I love it. Yeah, the state of emergency. We had our Canadian correspondent just pop off to go find out what's going on. We found out that.
Freedom! You hear that, Justin Trudeau? You hear that, every worthy dictator around the world? Canadians have stood up. Canadians have lit the fire. Canadians are leading the way. And there's nothing that's going to stop us. In fact, we've already won.
3%.
I love you all. I love you more than I can express. I love Canada. And for the first time in my life, I'm proud to be a Canadian.
Nico going mad. I can see Nico there backstage. Nico, go on, get to Ottawa. Bit of Twisted Sister. Well, thank you to everyone. Let's leave the music for a second. Come on. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone who Okay, fine. Another 5 minutes gone. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to anyone who's donated. We've had a couple of donations from our session. Thank you to those people. Thank you to people who subscribed as well. Like we're loving the restream. It's been a little bit technical. Problems with the signal on the Canada end, so I don't think it's down to any of our tech over here.
Quite a generous. Yeah, we got quite a generous donation the other day as well, so I'd like to thank that person. Incredible help.
Yeah, and thank you to anyone. Thank you to anyone who's coming out. Thank you to anyone who's supporting, because it enables us to keep doing what we're doing.
I want to keep building what we're building.
Yeah, keep running down to central London.
And anyone who's joined us right now, basically what happened was we jumped on with our live streamer from the other day in Ottawa, who filmed that footage, that speech we just watched there.
Well, live streamer. He's Commander General of the
Canadian Resistance. Also a live streamer. And yeah, he jumped on to update us after the rally yesterday. He was going to bring Chris Sky on, but then we found out mid broadcast that the city is in a state of emergency, so he's run off to go and I don't know, go back. Is he going back?
It looks
he
like
just got back to his.
We can see Nico backstage. He's pointing to his phone, so he's on his phone working out what he's doing with his pooches, I think. And yeah, so it's been a bit of a hectic one,
so
but
hopefully keep bringing you updates.
More updates, more footage. Nico's going to be going around interviewing a few people on the ground, so we want to have the best coverage over here in Resistance GB. You're not going to get this on the Sun. You're not going to get this on the Mail. You're not going to get this on the Mirror or Sky News or the BBC.
I don't think we need to desell the mainstream media to our audience. So.
Well, it's just nice to dick on them sometimes. And also, you're not going to see it on the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, right? And we need to say, take down the CBC, right? Because all of these government propaganda arms need to be taken down. Like the idea that these people are journalists. Well, no, the government doesn't have journalists because they're the government. How can the government possibly have journalists?
Well, the media are supposed to. Isn't that the point of the journalists, to hold the government to account, hold the power to account by reporting on what's actually going on?
The fourth estate.
The fourth estate. Explain that.
Well, you've got is it not the legislative, the executive, the judiciary, and then there's the journalists who are meant to sort of report on everything.
We haven't had that for a long while.
I may be wrong there. But yeah, that's what journalists are meant to do.
And so we'll be down in Parliament Square at some point tomorrow morning to check out what's going on with this convoy situation in this country. I think it's more symbolic than anything else, isn't it? We don't really have the...
I don't think it's going to be as big as Canada, but I think we're going to have people down. And the point is that
the point is to sort of raise awareness as well of what's going on in Canada, shows that sort of support.
And we had the protest outside the embassy about a week ago.
Keep the pressure on as well.
Exactly, because this is the thing. Like there's more and more data coming out, and we won't necessarily, shall we say, spoil the live stream. Even though we are live on Odyssey, we could just kill. Can we kill YouTube right now?
Yeah, we can kill it.
Yeah, guys. So if you want to actually continue this, what we're going to do?
We'll stay on Odyssey and chat for a bit. But we want to speak freely, so we're gonna kick.
Yeah, we're going to see if we can kick all of you people off of YouTube. And if you want to continue, go over to Odyssey, because we are live on Odyssey right now. So we should hopefully be able to keep chatting.
Just unlink it from the... This is new technology. So
new tech. This is the first time we've done this, but hopefully we can just kick you guys off by going like that.
Did you save it? Save the event?
I will need to save the event. And guys, if you want to grab the Odyssey link, hopefully we're going to end our YouTube here and we can just keep going on Odyssey for maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes more, 10 minutes more, something like that.
And we'll just help test out the technology in it as well.
Yeah, this will be a good test to see whether we can kick you guys off of YouTube and you can come over and be on Odyssey. And because Odyssey is free. There is freedom. There is free speech. And
Right, go on, kick them off.
bloody hell, you really don't
Bye.
like these people. Guys, go on, let's get the link in the chat. If we can have the link in the chat to our Odyssey, everyone should be able to find it. It's linked on our channel. Just type in Resistance GB Odyssey, Odyssey SEE, and you should be able to find us. And anyone
There's
who's
a
not
link
made
on our
it,
website as well.
exactly, resistancegb.org. So if you guys can go, wait a second, resistancegb.org. Can we get the background in? There we go. There it is above us. Yeah, so if you guys want to jump over, make an account, decentralized, and yeah, we are rocketing up the Odyssey rankings. What have we gained? We gained like 20 places. We're up to,
Well, we speak about it enough, don't we?
yeah.
Constantly like shoving down people's.
Well, when we go over to Odyssey, all the Odyssey people will be happy, so we can talk about Odyssey like non-stop. But it's just freedom. It's not having a file called censorship. That's what it is. So anyway, you guys have the link, and I'm going to give you 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hopefully this will kick all of you dirty YouTubers off.
We're dirty YouTubers.
No,
Still,
we are not.
Just kick them off. Go on.
Right. Has that kicked YouTube off? Has it succeeded?
No. We're still here.
Okay.
Mhm.
Can I edit event? Hopefully it would have turned it off. Are they still here? Are they still here? Do I need to go directly into YouTube to get rid of them?
You make it,
Aha! If I make it private, it will end it.
and then we'll check. Yeah, go on, do it. Do it.
Done.
Right, are we still on Odyssey?
It will kick them off.
Yeah, it's gone. Right.
Is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
We've got rid of them. It's still showing 201 people.
No, it's gone.
Ah, but we're still live on Nico's channels.
Yeah. But if we check our.
Okay, we can. Oh no, wait. Nico's on YouTube.
Oh, so we can't speak freely.
Wait a second. Can I kick him off? Can I kick off his channels?
Yeah, so now we're going on our Odyssey channel.
We're trying to kick